Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and on this episode we're going to be swapping over this reservoir, this ugly yellow thing that makes the whole thing ugly. I'm going to swap it over with a new one. I got one of these guys from one of my subscribers. He had a few of them, so I bought one. It's an OEM factory, you know, nice and clean, nice and clear. You can see through it, whereas on this one you can see through it, but it just looks so horrible. It makes the whole engine look so disgusting when everything else is so nice and clean. Well, maybe it's a little dusty right now, but when everything else is nice and clean, this, when you open the hood, this just stands out like a sore thumb and it just looks horrible. And also we're going to talk about how I got a speeding ticket at work with the Class A license in California. It gets you a 1.5 point instead of 1, and you can't go to traffic school. So I had to find a company to help me fight the ticket, and how they got me out of the ticket, and how they can help you too as well. And we're going to start right now. And to give you guys an update, the dash swap is still in progress. I'm still waiting on the insulation and the sound deadening stuff, the materials. Heating core lines started dripping. They weren't dripping for a couple days, and I think it got warmer and more sunny, so I think maybe it started expanding the fluid inside the engine and the radiator, and then now it started leaking, and it got the floor wet, and it started leaking on the floor a little bit. So that kind of sucks, but good thing I'll be pulling off the carpet anyways, so I figured I might as well just pull it off later and then just pressure wash it. See right there, it got wet in this spot. So we'll see what I can do with that. I shoved the gloves in there. I figured that would help, but honestly I don't think that will. So I'm gonna pull the gloves out, and I need to probably start draining the radiator, and that might help. I'm hoping that will help. When I drain this, hopefully that will help, and then I won't fill it up until I'm actually all plugged in and ready to go. And as far as the old dash, I got everything, the whole harness stripped off from the old dash, kind of laid it out how it was so I don't forget how it was. I mean, it's pretty simple honestly, but and then these are the wires that I'll be working on with the cluster helper. We're gonna be marking all those. That's the video I'm still working on, so we'll deal with that on the dash swap video. And as far as the new dash, I gotta remove the whole harness from here, remove everything that I don't need, and just leave just the bare frame and get that cleaned up, get it painted so it looks a lot nicer. And as far as the nose swap goes, I'm working on part 3. I'm going to be removing all the panels, making a few adjustments here and there, and then also I was kind of playing around with the cowl and see what I need to do in order to make that kind of snap in. I might have to do a little bit of trimming, and we'll see. We'll deal with that on maybe part 3, or I'll make the cowl video separate. I'm not sure yet, but I'm still seeing what I need to do in order to make the new cowl panels fit, in order to fit the hood and the fenders and all that stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start draining the fluid, remove the old ugly reservoir, put the new one in, see how that looks, and then we're going to talk about the speeding ticket, how I got out of it, and how you can get out of it too if you need help with that. So let's go ahead and drain this into the bucket. Alright, and that should be good enough, half a bucket. And we're just gonna close this up. Alright, and the tank is empty and ready to come out. And to remove the tank is obviously pretty simple. You got a hose clamp on this side. Pop that off. A couple 8mm on the bottom. And one 8mm right here. The top one is a little bit shorter. Just remember, long ones going to go on the bottom. And we got one more hose on the bottom. That's a little bit tougher to get to. Now it would be a little bit easier if you remove the hose from the bottom, from the radiator, but then you're gonna have to drain the whole radiator. So I want to see if I can kind of removing this side. Now you gotta like kind of pull and twist at the same time, and it should go. There we go. And now let's put the new one in. And a good way to shove things in dry is to obviously lubricate them. So I'm gonna spit a little bit in here. You don't want to use anything greasy. And then when it dries, it's gonna have a nice hold on it. There we go. That's in. And we got the clamp on. Now we got to put this one on. Clamp. And put the small millimeter on top. Just a little bit. And 2 on the bottom. And we're going to snug them down by hand because you don't want to crack the plastic. Good. There we go. So much better. Let me remove this garbage. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And then after I'm done, I'm gonna clean up, you know, the engine, the dust stuff of it, all that stuff, make everything nice and pretty. And that's gonna, you know, when you open the hood, you're just gonna see that the engine's nice and clean, taken care of. And with the yellow reservoir, it just looked horrible. All right, so let's talk about the speeding ticket that I got at work. I usually go 57, 58, sometimes 59, depends where. And when I go to San Francisco, there's a lot of up and down hills. And the cop always sits on this down slope. I don't know if I got distracted or whatever happened. And I ended up going like 63 on the down slope. And the engine brake doesn't always activate right away. It takes like 2 to 3 miles over whatever your cruise control is set to start activating, and then by the time you slow down, you're already going 63, 64, whatever. And in California, the speed limit is 55, so it kind of sucks to a lot of truckers, but honestly, I don't care because I get paid by the hour. But I don't like spending most of my, you know, time at work either, so I try to speed up just a little bit, just so I can get the job done faster, get home, get some, you know, rest, get some sleep, get back to my projects that I'm doing. So anyways, he got me going 63. There was 2 cops involved. So I got the ticket, and it's about 2 hours away from my house. And in order to deal with the traffic ticket and all that stuff, blah, 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 you have to go to where you got the ticket. So I didn't really feel like spending 2 hours of driving there, dealing with the ticket at court, and then driving back. So that's a full days of, you know, trying to fight the ticket. So I'm basically taking a day off work just to fight the ticket. So I figured I'm gonna contact this company, Ticket Dismissers. They're on Instagram and they have a website, ticketdismissers.com. But I just contacted them on Instagram. It's a lot easier to get back and forth. And they deal with states like California, Nevada, Florida, New Jersey, New York, and Washington. And their success rate is 94%. You know, finding the tickets. So I figured, why not? I'll try it. I'll see if they can fight it for me. I'm either taking time off work to fight it, lose money, and maybe lose the case, or, you know, hire somebody to do it for me, pretty much equal amount of money wise, either lose it or pay to somebody, and they at least know the ins and outs, and they can fight the ticket a lot better. So basically I gave them my ticket number, I sent them a picture on Instagram, and they pretty much, you know, went to work on that. And because of the COVID thing, it took a little bit longer than it usually does. It takes, you know, a couple of months usually, but in this case I think it took almost half a year because of the COVID thing, if not longer. And basically they were working with the officer, and then they were trying to do what they can in order to not file the ticket. So basically they were trying to communicate with the officer outside of court. There's ways of doing it, you know, they know all the, you know, ins and outs of that, and basically they try to do what they can to win the ticket for you. and then if it goes to court, then then they go and deal with it through courts. So whatever was happening behind the scenes, I don't know all the full details, but basically things were not working out with the officer or whatnot, and then basically just went ahead and contacted district attorney directly, and then they filed a motion for dismiss, which was approved. So the case was dismissed. Whatever wasn't working out with the cop, and it never ended up going to trial. And if it did go to trial, then they would go into court to fight the ticket for me. It's one of those things. Sometimes you just have to, hire somebody to do it for you, unless you know the ins and outs, unless you've done it a few times. I've done it a few times before in the past, and it's really stressful. I'd rather hire somebody to do this for me than, me stressing out, losing days of work, probably losing the case. So this worked out in my favor. I won the case. I didn't get a 1.5 points on my record, and I think after 3 points they suspend your license till one of the tickets falls off. I'm not sure exactly. I've never gotten to that point of suspension, so hopefully I'm not going to. But if I get another ticket, I'm dealing with ticket dismissers again in the future. I felt like they did a pretty good job. Communication wise was pretty fast back and forth on Instagram. So yeah, if you got a ticket and you want to fight it, go ahead and contact ticket dismissers on Instagram and see if they can help you out. Alright guys, so hopefully the installation and the sound deadening stuff will arrive soon, so I can start working on the firewall, finish that up. And then on the dash swap video, I'm still working on doing the wiring and all that stuff. So we're gonna work on the cluster helper, get that wired up, get that soldered in and installed. So you guys are gonna see that maybe on the next video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the nose or the dash on the next episode, but we'll pretty much do whatever comes first. And yeah, so once that's done, we're gonna continue on doing more mods, more upgrades, and so on. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the comments, let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.